Hi, I wanted to make a video about building work. I posted some shorts last week about getting jobs easily because that's one of my main points about the psychology of travel is that it's easy to get jobs, short-term jobs, word of mouth, door to door, through contacts, networking. Um, it's easy to get those kind of jobs. I'm not talking about applying for proper, quote, proper jobs, going through the horrors of the human resources department. I'm just talking about ordinary jobs, building work in particular. That's why I've got that building stuff in the background there as a kind of reminder that there is plenty of work in building, there is plenty of work in hospitality, there is plenty of work in care. And I know these are so-called shitty jobs, but if you treat them, if you have the right attitude, you can treat it as a stepping stone to something better, or even better, when you're traveling, you can treat them as short-term jobs to make a bit of cash so you can move on. That's what I've been doing all my life, and then it's always led into greater things. For example, I was talking to somebody who is interested in hiring another contact of mine, um, the daughter of a friend who wants to work as an au pair, and he runs a festival in Britain and is considering her for working there. And even though the au pair is a low paid job, working around a festival would lead to loads of contacts. Anyway, the main point I want to make in this video is that I got lots of negative feedback on those shorts I made about doing building work, where I was talking about fixing cracks in walls prior to painting and decorating, and I was putting in polyfiller filler, and then and then smoothing out the cracks basically, and just saying this is easy, anybody could do it. And it seemed to really annoy certain people, saying that's not, because I'd said the word plastering, and somebody said that's not plastering, that's filling. Okay, fair enough, correct. And then somebody else saying you're doing it all wrong. That's not how you do filling. You do it like this and not like that. And there was a lot of anger there, and I would say things like, well, do you care to share your wisdom? Or I'm sorry, I made a mistake. I was just I wasn't really bothered by it, but I was and then somebody said to me, are you not bothered by all this negativity when you're just trying to help? And I said, well, actually not really, because, you know, they don't really, I understand their point of view, because I think what's going on here is that tradesmen, people who spent 3 or 4 years learning a trade like plastering or decorating, and then maybe 20, 30 years working as a painter, decorator, plasterer, and then they see me coming along and saying, oh, this is easy work, anyone can do that work. I can understand why that's irritating. But yeah, I get it. But at the same time, um, I want to repeat that it is easy work, and you're not going to be as good as they are, but you also wouldn't charge as much as they do. And the advantage of getting a professional is that they'll be much quicker and probably better, but getting hold of a professional isn't easy, and then paying for it isn't easy because they always charge a lot more. And it is work you can do simply, and it takes us amateurs less time, but sorry, it takes us amateurs more time, but the result can be just as good if you're very diligent. So I stand by what I'm saying. And then the other thing is that the kind of people I help with painting, decorating, gardening, household jobs is that they don't dare to go to professionals, because often professionals treat them like crap because they look down from a great height and make it out to be this great mystery you can't possibly understand. And then they charge absolute arm and a leg, and particularly if the person's elderly or looks rich and a bit uninformed, and they can really um, you know bully people and cheat people. For example, I met somebody yesterday who was having a carpet fitted, and her dad is away abroad, working abroad, and these carpet fitters halfway through the day say, "Well, when are you going to pay us? When are you going to pay us? Why haven't we got any money yet?" And I said to her, "Look, normally on a job you submit an invoice and you get paid." Um, at the end of the week, at the end of the month. If it's a big company, maybe 2 or 3 months later. So they've got no right to bully you into rushing off to a cash machine and handing out your own money to claim back later off your dad. I mean, it's ridiculous. Just say, send me an invoice and I'll send it to my dad who's abroad, and you'll get paid. But that's the sort of behavior that puts people off going to professionals, because they can be really difficult to deal with. I mean, some of them are obviously great. They're not all like that, but some professional tradesmen are really um, difficult to deal with, slightly rapacious even sometimes. So I still stand by the fact that what I provide a helpful service for people who need my help, and I think they really appreciate it. And the main point really is that it's the kind of work that anybody can do. Anybody, and you can learn this stuff at home. You can work on painting your family house or doing up your family garden and sorting out your junk in the attic. You can do all those things. You can learn all that stuff at home, and then you can go to somebody doing it professionally, like a painter or a builder or a driver of a van, and say, "Can I help you?" Start off. That's how I did it. Just start off as an assistant and build it up from there. And then when you've got a bit of comfort, you can do that in your. If you're a student, you can do that on your holidays, or if you're a professional worker, do it on weekends, time off, and then build up a new skill set. And very quickly, you'll understand how the business works, and you'll be able to offer your own work. Anyway, that's my advice, my feedback. I want to know what you think. What do you think of tradesmen doing jobs, and what do you think about what I'm saying here? Bye.